Hidden beneath the tentacles of nature are messages etched in stone, written long ago by loved ones who later also passed on. 150 years ago, deceased rich and poor were laid to rest in the Nunhead Cemetery of All Saints. In 1832, a new law paved the way for an alternative to the busting at the seams parish graveyards that admitted a stench of rotting bodies, further blighting London's already toxic air. Between 1832 and 1841, 7 private commercial cemeteries were established on the outskirts of London to provide spacious, sanitary and attractive burial places for its rapidly increasing and dying population. The new cemeteries included Kensal, Highgate, Brompton, Abney Park, West Norwood, and Nunhead, the second largest of London's Victorian cemeteries. In 1840, Nunhead Cemetery, a beautiful 50-acre landscape garden, was established by the London Cemetery Company. Though initially slow to attract attention, business picked up, and for the next 25 years, Nunhead Cemetery prospered, recording more than 200 burials per year. It became a popular destination for visitors who flocked to see the impressive art and architecture adorning many of its graves along its tree-lined avenues. However, by 1865, recession and lower mortality rates reduced its profitability and viability. It struggled on until 1969, when only 2/3 full, its owners, the United Cemetery Company, locked the gates and abandoned its 300,000 silent residents to ever-encroaching nature, the destructive effects of vandalism and theft, and damage from bombing during the Second World War. In 1975, Southwark Council bought the neglected cemetery for just £1. But little changed until 1999, when the Heritage Lottery Fund contributed £1.25 million to fund restoration and renovation that was undertaken by the Friends of Nunhead Cemetery. Visitors can appraise the prodigious work being accomplished by volunteers who are steadily revealing the imposing monuments and simple headstones of this Victorian garden cemetery. Visitors are greeted by restored cast iron gates, supported by neoclassical entrance piers, decorated with upturned torches, a symbol of death. The serpent circle at the top represents eternity. The Gothic-style Anglican chapel is dominated by a finely detailed archway, under which coffins were transferred from hearses to the chapel. Beneath the chapel lies a crypt. A granite obelisk near the entrance commemorates 5 Scottish political activists who were charged with sedition and transported to Australia for advocating parliamentary reform. They became known as the Scottish Martyrs. This striking mausoleum was commissioned by Colonel John Harrison Allen in 1866, after his parents died. His father was a successful shipowner, and Allen followed in his father's footsteps and ran a shipping company. He travelled extensively and documented his travels in a book published entitled A Pictorial Tour in the Mediterranean. It's assumed that the remains of Colonel Allen lie in the tomb, along with his 2 sisters. The damaged carving on the front of the mausoleum depicts 2 angels escorting the body of John Allen to heaven. The tomb had been erected by Frederick Schroeder, Oppenheim's business partner, who chose to be also buried here when he died in 1876. The Romanesque-style terracotta mausoleum of the Stearns family dates back to 1902. It's decorated with Celtic motifs. It was restored after it was invaded by someone presumably looking for treasures within. The monument of John Moritz Oppenheim, who was a wealthy skin and fur trader, has interesting though vandalized relief carvings. Oppenheim was blind during the last 20 years of his life. This carving shows an angel touching his eyes as he lies on his deathbed in 1864. His love of art is portrayed in two of the panels. One image displays a woman with brushes and a palette, and another shows a blind man touching a sculpture of a woman's head, possibly of the woman standing to the side. A classical-inspired monument is the final resting place of Vincent Figgins, who was a successful typesetter. A beautifully inscribed monument marks the tomb of the Daniel family, who ran a business creating tombstones for Nunhead and other London cemeteries. Here lie the remains of 4 children, none over the age of 4, who were all lost to the same family between 1849 and 1852. A marble memorial carved in the shape of a book commemorates 9 young scouts from inner-city slums who drowned in a boating accident during a camping and sailing trip on the Isle of Sheppey in 1912. 1 million people watched as their small coffins passed by on their way to Nunhead Cemetery. The original bronze statue of a Boy Scout that once marked the grave was stolen in 1969. In 1992, it was replaced with this simple white marble memorial. It has a carved circle of pebbles with a single stone in the center, the Scout symbol for gone home. Next to the Scout Memorial are some of the graves of the 592 servicemen from Canada, South Africa and New Zealand who fought in the First World War and now lie in Commonwealth war graves. The cemetery is built on a hill, and from its summit, St. Paul's Cathedral can be seen 5 miles away. As more and more monuments and tombstones are rescued from neglect and decay, Nunhead Cemetery provides a wonderful opportunity to observe the resilience of nature, the impermanence of life, and the inventiveness of artists. It's a tranquil oasis where you can remember those who have passed on and consider your own journey to your final resting place.